So let me get this straight. You gave me this game to review just because you thought it would be funny?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I guess you could have done a lot worse if you want to stay on the whole chicken theme, and you could have given me chicken shooting. That would have sucked.
Funny story.
Wait, no. Please, no.
Sorry, kid, if it were up to me, I wouldn't be subjecting you to this either, but you know how the higher-ups can get.
Now that I think about it, I don't. You never introduced me.
Look, just do your best here. Oh god, it was foreshadowing, just not for Mort. Every good hero needs a foil in their story, and I think we found one. Considered by many to be one of the worst games on the Wii, and maybe even of all time, Chicken Shoot's reputation truly precedes it.
This is always one of those games I heard a ton about growing up, browsing the perilous depths known as the comedic video game review scene on YouTube, but I never imagined I'd actually own it. Just goes to show, you should never give up on your dreams, kids.
This is usually where I'd give some spiel about why I bought this game or what it signifies in the greater gaming landscape, but what more can I really say about this that you can't infer from the box? At this point, all this talk is just prolonging the inevitable, but aren't we all? Alright, got a few modes to choose from like any score-based game would, but why don't we play it safe and start off with the good old arcade mode for now. You know, I always like giving games a fair shake. Just because something seems like it should suck, or even if a lot of people say something does suck, doesn't always make it the case. I had my fun with Mort the Chicken, however shallow that game may be gameplay-wise aside. I found quite a lot to like about Breakout PS1, Bakugan did a great job blending the actual real-life rules of the card game with more video gamey elements, and even Club Penguin Game Day had some decent minigames buried in there. Hell, looking back, I think I might have been a bit too harsh on Beyblade even. So who's really to say that this game is gonna be that bad? Surely there's gotta be something in there that I can point out and praise. So I'm not gonna run from this game. I love finding and learning about all sorts of weird games, good and bad, so I should be excited. Yeah, you know what? I want to play Chicken Shoot.
Oh no.
The people weren't wrong. The people weren't wrong. I take back everything I just said. I hate this and everything it stands for. Okay, hold on. I gotta calm down. Let me organize my thoughts real quick.
Okay, I'm ready.
To start off with, this game feels way too sluggish. You control it with the Wiimote's pointer, but the speed at which you move the Wiimote isn't proportional to the speed at which the pointer in-game moves. It never moves as fast as you want it to move, and you can get used to it, but aiming with the goddamn Wiimote shouldn't be something I have to get used to. Adding to this sluggishness is the game itself, so let's get into that. In this game, your one and only goal in life is to massacre some birds, and I mean really kill them. These are actual firearms. Not even hunting rifles like you'd expect. Our main man over here is pulling out shotguns, pistols, a goddamn submachine gun? What the hell did the chickens do to deserve this? The game wasn't that bad, man. All you gotta do to advance in the game is kill enough birds noted by the counter in the top left, then a special bird swoops in and you gotta kill that one too. What the fuck am I saying? Two problems with this. Number one, the hitboxes in this game are terrible. I can't count how many times I thought I should be hitting one of these loathsome avian pests, but nope. Number two, I just don't like it, okay? Nothing about this game feels good to play, no satisfying sound or visual effect when you hit your target, each and every shot you make is punctuated by a sound from the Wiimote, and you can't really change the volume of this thing, so it was louder than my damn TV. The only way I'm combating that is by turning up the TV's volume even louder, but I don't really feel like broadcasting that to the neighbors. Just like the pointer speed, this entire game feels like it's moving at a geriatric pace. You can go a good while without seeing any chickens because they spawn in and move so slow, especially in the earlier levels. After shooting the advancement bird, you're transported to another part of the world and you kinda just do whatever it is you just did again. I'm really trying here, but I have no clue what else I can say about this. This entire gameplay loop is dull, nothing to shake things up when it desperately needs to be shaken up. Just rinse and repeat until you give up. Or there are some other modes in this game, I guess it's only fair that I try them out too. Maybe they won't be as bad. Let's go with Catch an Egg, that sounds unique. And it's also terrible. It's a super basic minigame, just gotta move the bloodthirsty farmer around to one of the 4 locations in order to catch all the falling eggs. Now by itself that doesn't sound so bad, the kind of low effort minigame you'd expect to find in shovelware like this, but I've played a ton of egg catching minigames in my time and I know a bad one when I see it. This thing controls horribly whether you're using the D-pad or the pointer. It feels almost impossible to get this guy to stay somewhere without intense effort on your part, and I'm already playing Chicken Shoot, so I'm already going through enough physical and mental strain as is. Alright, well, that was a dud as well, but there's still one more chance for this game to redeem itself. Classic mode, here I come. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing, but on a timer. From what I can tell, you still need to kill a certain number of chickens to advance, so it's the exact same as arcade mode, but with a very generous timer. Yippee.
Wait, that's it? I know that game's the embodiment of Wii shovelware, but That's it? We got two almost identical versions of the same shitty arcade shooter and a bad egg-catching game. Well, at least it was merciful. I'm not even mad anymore, I'm just vaguely impressed.
For some ungodly reason, they've multiplied. Actually, the Wii version I've been playing was far from the first version of this game that was released. It's not even a variant of the first game in the series. Yes, this is a series. All the way back in 2001 on the PC, a game titled, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that if you want to go with the German title, or yeah, I'm not trying to butcher that one either if you speak Polish, was released. But just for simplicity's sake, we're gonna call this one Proto Chicken Shoot because it sounds cool and it's not like it has a definitive English title anyways. Now you might be thinking, oh, that must have been what was ported to the Wii eventually as Chicken Shoot. Well, you'd be wrong. This game right here was only released in Europe in languages I can't read. Judging from the screenshots provided, the fact that our main character isn't in this original PC version and the different UI leads me to believe that the Wii game wasn't directly based off this specific release. This is just a simple PC game, no ports, just Chicken Shoot as raw as it can get. Pretty easy to understand, right? Well, not anymore. Buckle up, because this is where things get a bit confusing. Make sure you're taking notes. Chicken Shoot Proto here got a sequel around a year later which would be titled Chicken Shoot over here. We're no longer in Proto territory anymore. However, I'm convinced this Chicken Shoot is a different beast entirely from the Wii game we've been talking about. Or at least for the most part. You see, this game right here was the first game in the series to be brought over to North America in 2005, before the Wii was fully released. That's right, we're headed over to the GBA. Twice. There are two separate games on the Game Boy Advance in this series, Chicken Shoot and Chicken Shoot 2. Now, I want you to look really closely at these two box arts. Notice anything interesting? How about they're the same fucking thing, except this one has a number on it, ooh. From what I can tell, Chicken Shoot 1 is a port of the PC sequel to Chicken Shoot Proto, titled That 2, which Google translates as Water Hen 2 Mr. Frank's Revenge. Now, even though this is the second game, I'm just gonna call this one Chicken Shoot because that's what it was released as over here, and the Wii release is gonna be called the Wii one, got it? Because now we get to Chicken Shoot 2, which is a different thing from the sequel to Chicken Shoot Proto. Judging by the release years of the original PC versions, I'd have to guess that our Chicken Shoot 2 is a port of the third game in the series, which I was only able to find on this one website that Google translates as Water Hen 3 Panic at the Hen House. So really, Chicken Shoot is Chicken Shoot 2, and Chicken Shoot 2 is Chicken Shoot 3 from what I can tell, kinda like Post-Innocent Sin Persona. Keep in mind, information on these games is a little sparse, so I'm doing the best with what I have. If it comes to light that Chicken Shoot 2 on GBA is actually an enhanced version of Chicken Shoot on GBA instead of a port of Water Hen 3 Panic at the Hen House, then that's my bad, but from what I can deduce, this is about the gist of it. Now, how do these two GBA releases actually differ from the Wii one and themselves? Well, to start off with, the first one's actually not terrible. It's still got almost nothing to do, but it's a massive step up in quality from the Wii one. To start off with, this game is a good bit faster. Chickens spawn in and move much quicker, weapon drops are more common, you get eggs thrown at you more often, and the cursor moves how you would expect it to. I can't believe that's a genuine point of praise now. In stark contrast to the Wii one, there's always something going on here. There's also just a ton more variety in the weapon drops than the Wii game. For the most part in there, you were just using the standard pistol, and when you weren't, you were pretty much just using one of two weapons. But here you're pulling out all kinds of stuff one after another. Miniguns, laser rifles, flamethrowers. This game's having a ton more fun with the weapon variety than the Wii one, that's for sure. Since this game is missing the catch and egg minigame, damn it! I find it a bit hard to believe that this is the exact version of the game the Wii version was built around. Adding to this point, there isn't a lot of cohesiveness in the stages you go between in this one. You're just kind of flung around from place to place, but in the Wii one, you've got a more concrete order. Meaning, if the Wii one isn't Chicken Shoot Proto and it isn't quite Chicken Shoot, then what exactly is it? Well, we're not quite done yet. We've still got Chicken Shoot 2 to look at. It's almost the exact same thing. These two games are pretty much the same thing, which I guess I'm not too surprised about. Although, correction, this one does have a language selection, so there's that. The levels are also a little bit different in Chicken Shoot 2, but for all intents and purposes, these are basically the same game, but you can play this one in Spanish. This one is also missing the catch and egg minigame, just like the last one. So is the Wii one its own thing entirely? Some sites seem to list it as a separate thing, while the GBA ports are listed on the same page as their PC versions. This seems to be the most likely explanation at this point, which brings up another question. The Wii one was released 2 years after the GBA releases. Did these games really turn enough of a profit for Frontline, the studio that handled porting these games to the GBA, to warrant spending valuable resources reworking these games for the Wii release? Did they really think the Wii player base just had to get a load of this shit? That's a stupid question. They didn't need much of a reason. This is the Wii. Literally anything will sell on this thing. Chicken Shoot fits right in here. Oh, and they also developed a DS port because of course they did, which seems to have reviewed somehow worse than the Wii version. Due to recording and game availability limitations, I can't try this game out for you guys right now, but I think I can guess what it's like. Okay, nobody move? I think I'm done now. I think I finally got a good understanding of what this thing is and how it came to be, so I think I'm done now.
No.
That's right, Frontline wasn't content to just sit still. Apparently they were so confident in this game doing well, they just had to start development on another one. This time it's a Frontline project through and through. Before they were only in charge of developing the ports as well as the Wii and DS games, which are kinda ports and kinda their own thing. They had to go rogue to make this. Well, we can't just ignore this one, can we? It's a valuable part of the cinematic universe. In truth, I actually tried playing this game a little while ago, but my controller actively refused to keep playing after not even 3 minutes, so I decided it was better left for a better time. Which isn't now, but I might as well just get it over with while I'm here. Now, for what it's worth, Chicken Blaster is a decent bit better than Chicken Shoot. You've got fully 3D graphics this time, a boon of being developed from the ground up for a home console release, pointer controls that actually feel like pointer controls, enemies that have more distinct behaviors separating each of the different types from one another, and this game has actual levels with definitive beginnings and endings as opposed to whatever the hell was going on here. Now, does all this come together to make Chicken Blaster a good game?
Fucking no.
This game is still pretty bad when all the chips are down. First off, to select things on the main menu, you use the B button and A is back. I think that's illegal in some states. This game has the exact opposite problems as Chicken Shoot, whereas that game was too slow, this game is too damn fast. Chickens don't really spawn in here, they swarm in, on top of the hordes already present when you enter the level or move to a different area. This means the game isn't really much of a shooter so much as it's a clicker. The best strategy I found was just to spam the fire button at the largest mass of chickens until you can move on. Reloading barely takes any time alongside your infinite ammo, and if you don't care about maxing out your hit percentage like a normal person, there's pretty much no downside to doing this. The most thought you're going to be putting into this game is shoot the guys that throw eggs at you when they come in, and that's it. However, this game does have boss fights, a perfect opportunity to show just how much this game's design can really shine. It doesn't. This scarecrow guy can go to hell. He has way too much health and a minuscule hitbox. For my entire first attempt, I didn't know why some of my shots were hitting and some weren't. Turns out his weak spot is his beak. Everywhere else is a no-go, but since he has so much health, you aren't going to immediately notice that hitting him there deals damage. Despite the improved graphics, this game still feels pretty cheap. The menus are painfully static, even more so than Chicken Shoots, and the sound effects are repetitive as hell. So despite some of the steps Chicken Blaster takes in order to improve upon Chicken Shoot, it still can't break out of that shovelware mold.
Oh, thank God. I think we're actually done now. Yeah, Chicken Shoot's about as bad as people say it is. I can see that now, but that's honestly the least interesting part about it to me. This isn't simply the product of one company seeing a market for low-effort Wii games and doing just that. I mean, it is, but not entirely. This thing is part of a series, one that's been around for a good bit longer than any of the consoles any of its entries have been ported to.
Looking at the 2 GBA releases next to the Wii version makes it apparent just how much of a slapped-together rush job the Wii version was. It hardly implemented any of the unique weapons the original games had, hardly even tried to adapt the cursor movement to work with the Wiimote's pointer, and the only thing it definitively added was a shitty egg minigame and a reworked order for the stages already in the game. Yeah, the GBA games aren't great, but I can see them being decent budget releases to play while waiting for the buzz. At least they aren't as painfully slow and non-committal as the Wii version. Okay, yeah, as retail releases, they're a little light on content, but it makes a bit more sense when you realize that they're pretty much direct ports of simple PC time wasters. Seeing as the Wii game was treated as a bit more of a separate release than the GBA games, where Frontline could have done something to make this game stand out. I suppose Catch an Egg is something, but not to get political, I don't really think it should be. They did do a lot more with Chicken Blaster, but that relative ambition compared to Chicken Shoot sadly can't save it from still being really bad. For some reason, Chicken Shoot and Chicken Shoot 2 were released as a bundle in Chicken Shoot Gold. From what I can tell, that's Chicken Shoot as in what was ported to the GBA as Chicken Shoot, not the Wii one. If anyone out there is a bit more knowledgeable on this series, please enlighten me because I have had so many chances to get stuff wrong here. There seems to be a decent amount of people who remember these original PC games pretty fondly as well, both in the Steam reviews and the no doubt sloppily auto-translated pages I found while researching this video, which isn't super surprising given how surprisingly decent the GBA ports of them were, if super simple. Maybe that same nostalgia exists for these games as well.
Well, I hope not, but you never know. And with that, I think we're done here. Just gotta notify the boss now, wherever the hell he snuck off to. Oh, there you are.